Is self-diagnosis for autism valid? My name's Taylor. My channel is Mom on the Spectrum, and every day I get to work with autistic adults to help us improve our quality of life. There's so many people that talk with me and say, I feel so guilty about using these terms. I feel like if I say I'm autistic, I'm appropriating the term. I'm taking this away from somebody else who needs it more. I also hear these same people say that by using the word autism to describe their experience of life and having associated vocabulary like delayed processing, social overwhelm, sensory overwhelm, demand avoidance, rejection sensitive dysphoria, probably created a stir for some of you who haven't heard those terms before. But people who start identifying as autistic and find this vocabulary to describe their experiences, it's like they can finally take a deep breath for the first time in their life. Self diagnosis has brought so many people a feeling of finally being understood, feeling like their life makes more sense and they have a better understanding of why they show up in the world the way that they do. And I found this to be true for myself. Whenever I was professionally diagnosed at 31 as autistic, it changed my life for the better. I had this constant feeling of searching. I had always, for as long as I could remember, researched every mental health term I could come across because I knew my brain was different and I didn't know how to describe it. And then when it finally clicked for me about how autism can present, especially in women, especially in adults, um, it was like a light bulb came on that made everything brighter. While I support the field of psychology wholeheartedly, I love it. There are so many barriers to receiving an autism diagnosis, depending on what part of the world you're in. Sometimes they can be expensive. A lot of the providers are not up to date on current presentations of autism or current understanding of autism. There's a real lack of education that can mean that you spend a lot of money and a lot of time pursuing a diagnosis from somebody who's not even really um, up to date with information to help you get an accurate diagnosis. It might just lead you further off the trail. I was actually doing some math yesterday, and since I started running my autism support groups, I've had 1,100 people come through those groups, which is just amazing to me. And in working with those 1,100 people, I haven't met one of them who has not thoroughly researched autism before using a self diagnosis. A lot of times, by the time someone uses the word autism to self diagnose, they know more about how autism presents than a lot of providers. It's true. And at the end of the day, here's my bottom line: nobody, not even a licensed psychologist, at the end of the day, knows your experiences better than you do. Nobody understands what it's like to see the world through your eyes. If identifying as autistic helps you feel like a better version of yourself, why the hell not? Okay? Life is short. And if you feel like this improves your quality of life, improves your level of self-compassion, why not? The road to self-diagnosis can feel really lonely and isolating because there's usually a lot of invalidation along the way. A lot of times it's from people that you love and care about the most. So just be gentle with yourself if you're on this journey. Know that you're not alone. And I've got a lot of people in my community that would be happy to offer some validation and support. You can find me at momonthespectrum.life.